It's brew day today. Got our mash water coming up to temp. Stir paddle. Here's our grains. Got 22 pound of Great Western 2-row pale malt. And then about 3/4 of a pound of caramel 120. Just the top, the darker. And I need a little bit more of that, but I didn't have it, so I just threw in about the same amount of some caramel 60/70 English caramel malt. And there's some 2-row at the bottom of that too, because it wouldn't all fit in there. But altogether, I think it's like a about 24-25 pounds of malt going in it. Getting ready to start the milling process. See you here in a bit. Here's the milling process. It's getting a little full. All right. Here's your crushed grain. Kind of hard to see on this. Kind of see my crush. I do a little coarse than a lot of people. I mean, this does pretty good. I get a decent efficiency out of it. And you still have the hulls intact, which make for a nice grain bed, filter bed. You don't get stuck parts too often, so I'll do that about 1.5 more times. There we go. 1 bucket in, mashed in. There's no dough balls. That looks good. I had to pump some of the water off. It was just too full. Couldn't fit everything in it. As you can see, it's pretty full now. So I'll go ahead and put the top screen on. Slides down in there. Top. Pull my cap. start the recirc. Let's have it back. Alright, we're sparging out. Lifted up the malt tin. Let's see if you can see. Can't really see. This is the first mash. Still got to mash that one in. I only did about a 40-minute mash on this, which is usually pretty good. Normally I do an hour, but I gotta get this thing going because I gotta boil it for 3 hours, so it's gonna be a long process. Hey. Yeah, you can kind of see the top there. Just letting this drain out a little bit. We'll dump those grains into that bucket. And from there, we'll remash with the water we already have with these grains and mash in again for another half hour, probably half hour mash. Do a mash out. Just essentially raise your temperature. Run it over the grains, and then sparge again with the remaining water, and then we can start our boil finally. We'll be back. Alright, so the first runnings put us right around a 10:55, 10:56, right around there, which should put us pretty good for the second batch that is mashing in now. There's the first batch of grains. Second batch is in there. We've got a 10:55 from it with no mash out or anything, so we should be sitting pretty good. So I'm going to put the cover on this, let this mash out, do its sack rest, and we'll be good. Alright, just got done finished sparging. I'll try to zoom in here and see if you can see our volume markers. That there is 8 gallons. So we're about like a little over 7.5 gallons of pre-volume wort, which is pretty good. See the proteins and stuff starting to formulate on top. Just gonna stir that in. 196, waiting for it to get up to our boiling temp. I'll probably go ahead and put the lid on it. Let it boil away, because this thing's gonna have to boil for 3 hours, I'd say. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a pre-boil gravity test. I'm gonna stir it up some more, and I'll reach in there and grab it with my tester. Just a little leaf here. Get a couple little hot. Just about that much there is all you need, really. But probably actually that's even more than enough. So go ahead and put this on a refractometer. See how much sugars we have, and see where we're gonna potential ABV to be. Here's the pre-boil gravity reading, 1.077. And that'll work. By the time we boil this thing for 3 hours, that should put us down to about the 1.1 that we're looking for. So I'll come back once we start boiling. Alright, we started our boil, as you can see. Our first addition of hops went into this. It's my hop spider. It's real fine mesh. Keeps the leafy matter out of the pump. Keeps it from clogging the pump. But yeah, we got through the protein break and the hop break. or the boil over chances, which is always a risk when brewing beer. You get the boil over, all the sugars. But we've made it through that, and now we wait for 3 hours. So we'll be back when something else exciting happens. Alright, we're about an hour left in the boil here. Just stir this up and trying to get a sample here. Let's see if we can rate it. Yeah, we're up to 1.090 looks like, so we gotta get pretty close to that 1.1. Real close. So we'll be back as soon as for another hour. Alright, we've got about 10 minutes left in the boil. But going ahead and sanitizing the wort chiller, which is that spiral of cord right there. Kill any bugs in it. Just recirculates through everything and flows out to there. Kills it all. Boiling wort. So back when we start cooling it. We are chilling. That's the pump. Pump hooked up to here. Cold water intake hooked up into here. It's a counterflow system. Cold water starts at the bottom, spirals up. Hot wort spirals down in the middle of it on a separate tube. It comes out into my bucket, which is going to be the fermenter, which has already been sanitized. And that's the sanitized solution there. A couple packs of yeast, some scissors, because everything now has to be super sanitized. And once it's done pumping out, and pitch the yeast. As soon as you pitch the yeast, it becomes beer. Then throw it in the fermentation freezer at the moment, and let it do its thing. Here we are fermenting. It's been a couple of days, so it's not incredibly active. It's pretty well winding down now.